Alright, so I've started the recording. And okay, we're good. Good morning. Let's learn about cube and cube root today. So again, cube root is another kind of magical plant that grows in math classroom only. Let's start with what we know already. So we know what a square and square root look like. Square look like this, and a square has a area. So let's call that 4 centimeters square, and this is 2 centimeters each. So far we kind of omitting the unit, so we're gonna put more focus on unit as of now because we have the volume coming in. All right, so if I write this out, if you simply write 2 times 2 equal to 4, in this scenario, you don't really know what you're talking about because 2 could be 2 candies, 2 hamburgers, 2 dogs, 2 chicken. I always confuse those two. When I was learning English, I told my teacher that my mom was cooking kitchen in the chicken. That doesn't make sense, right? and he had a good laugh. But anyways, so in this case, if this is a measurement, if this is 2 centimeters, so we should really write 2 centimeters times 2 centimeters equal to 4 centimeters square, all right? And this unit means different things. That square means that it's an area. And without a square, simply centimeter, that means length. Okay, so they actually means different things. So the unit is telling you something. By just taking a look at the unit, you know for sure that's an area. So that's what we know. Let's learn about cube. What is a cube? Okay, I'm gonna do my 3D draw. Let's keep the unit the same. Okay, so it's 2 centimeters, 2 centimeters by 2 centimeters. So all centimeters, and inside it's gonna be 8 as volume. So if I'm gonna write this out, it's 2 centimeters times 2 centimeters times 2 centimeter is equals to 2 times 2 is 4 times 2 is 8. It's a centimeter. Well, in this case, we have centimeter once, centimeter twice, centimeter 3 times multiplied together. So it's a power 3. Okay. So again, this is our length, and the cube version tells us that that's a volume. Okay. That is to say, over here in this area, we can put 4 flat piece of papers of same size in there. Each one measure 1 centimeter square. In this case, in this cube though, we can fit 8 of these little cubes in there, measuring 1 by 1 each side. Okay, so that's what it meant. All right, let's work on numbers, shall we? So far, we understand that, well, let's start with what we know. We know that 2 square is 4. Notice that we are using the symbol right here, that power 2. We haven't been using that yet, but you guys know symbol for power, correct? Have you learned that before? This little superscript 2? Yes? No? Sure? Yes? Is that a positive yes? Or I don't know, yes?
Yeah, positive yes.
Raise your hand that you have seen this symbol before, that there's a superscript. You learned that before, right? All right, just want to make sure. All right, so over here, we can simplify this as 2 power 2 is 4. Here we can simplify it as 2 to the power 3, it's 8. I'm only going to rewrite it over here. So 2 power 3, it's 8. All right, so this is all powers. We're going to put radicals in later on. How about 3 to the power 2? What does that mean? That simply means 3 times 3 equal to 9. Okay. 3 power 3 in this case would be 3 times 3 times 3. Yes? Okay, just stating the fact. You can simplify this first. You can write it as, I'm going to times first 2 3s first. So you get 9, and then times 3, 27. Or you can skip one of the steps, right? If you can do that in your head. Let's do 4. How about 4 to the power 3? Would be 4 times 4 times 4. Or if you were to times first 2 4s together, you get what? 4 times 4. Multiplication table. Yes. Thank you. 16 times another 4 should give you. Can you do this in your head? 16 times 4? 64. Thank you. All right. So that is 3 times. I mean, it times itself 3 times, right? How about 10 to the power 3? It would be 10 times 10 times 10. That would give you 100 times 10. That would give you 1,000. All right. So I think you learned about powers, and the new part should be about the root. All right. So let's do the roots down here. Cube root. What are cube roots? Let's start with what we know. Okay. So let's start with square. Square and square root. Okay. So we understand that if we have this case, if we have that square and square root, it's the area 4. It's same as if you have area 4 in a square, each side measures 2, right? And we can rewrite that. If the area is 4, each side is square root 4. By definition, correct? Yes, this is a review, right? So, if this is a flat square, if the area is 4, each side is square root 4, and we understand that square root 4 is identical to 2. So far, so good? Okay, so let's extend this to our cube. Now, this cube, I'm gonna draw it slightly bigger. Okay, I'm gonna take the same cube over here and redraw over here because I'm gonna use the root symbol. All right. So in this case, if the volume is 8, each side measures. I'm not gonna write 2 there. Do you know what I'm gonna write? Cube root of 8. Now cube root, you have to add that little 3 there. Okay. Cube root of 8. I'm gonna write this bigger for you so you can see it. Cube root of 8. All right, so if it's a square root, it just looks like this, okay? In fact, you can put a little 2 there. It doesn't change a thing, okay? So if it's just a square root, you could omit that 2 if you wanted to. If it's a cube root, you have to put that 3 there. Otherwise, it's confusing. All right, so by definition, cube root of 8 equals to 2. Okay, so again, square root 4, this is basically looking for if the volume is, if the area is 4, each side is square root 4. Over here, this means this is area, right? Here means if the volume is 8, then each side measurement, if this is a cube, each side measurement is cube root 8, which is 2. Is this confusing? Or it's kind of just extending from what we know, correct? All right. So let's put the definition down again. So this symbol here, it's a cube root symbol. And if you put an 8 inside, this is cube root of 8. And this cube root of 8 has a value that is 2. All right, gonna do some calculation here. some problems, some questions that you would be seeing. All right. So let's start with, I'm going to put this 2 here. So this is square root of 4. Okay. And we know that this is equal to 2. But I'm going to expand it before that I give you the answer, so that things will make sense. Okay. We know a fact that square root of 4 is 2, correct? And we can write 4 as 2 times 2. All right? I'm going to keep going. We know for a fact that cube root of 8 is also 2. I'm going to write this in between step, and hopefully you can spot something, spot some pattern. Okay, so 8 is 2 times 2 times 2. Okay, once you get rid of, sorry, that should be a 3. Once you get rid of the cube root symbol, you only have one of this version left. You see that? Okay, if you have a square root, once you get rid of the square root symbol, you only have one of those versions left. Do you see the similarity here? If this number for the root is 2, after you take out this shelter, okay, 2 of this number will become 1. All right. If this number is 3, if the number for the root is 3, each 3 will turn into 1. Does that make sense? Number-wise. Okay. So how about the cube root of 125? So let's expand 125. If you need to use this prime factorization, do it. 125, it's cube root. That's a 3. That's a 3. All right, that's a 3. All right. So if you have cube root of 125, let's see if we can break 125 into 3 equal numbers multiplied together. So let's try 5 going to 125 how many times? 25 times. And 5 times 5 equal to 25. So if we break 125 into its prime numbers, it's 5 times 5 times 5. And this answer as integer is going to be what? So again, cube root, I need 3 of the same to put it outside the cube root shelter. Okay, so that gives me not 3, 5. There we go. All right. And lastly, if I have cube root of 27, this would be cube root of 27 is what? Do you see this as 3 times 3 times 3? Once we do the prime factorization, 27 is equal to 3 3's times together, yes? Yes? Okay. 3 times 3 times 3. So, if the volume is 27 as a cube, then each side is going to measure 3. Okay. And I believe that's it. Oh, one word of caution. When you write, try to write neatly, right? When you write this symbol, for instance, cube root 8. This 3, make sure it's small and it's sitting beside the cube root symbol. If you've been a little bit messy, and then you write 3 cube root 8. This means 3 times square root 8. It's different, right? These are not the same. Okay, on the left-hand side, you have number 2. On the right-hand side, you have 3 times something. It's different. All good? All good. So make sure you write that 3 neatly, tucked inside that cube root symbol. All right, that's the end of the lesson. I will stop the recording. I will show you the exercises to do.